In this video, we're going to connect an agent to some Dataverse tables and use them as knowledge in Copilot Studio. Our agent today is the real estate listings agent, and what it does is allow home buyers to search for properties using only natural language. Now, if you don't know how to create a Dataverse table, it's no problem. I'm going to show you how to create one by uploading an Excel table. Then we're going to connect it to our agent and learn how to write instructions so the agent's message always comes back in the format that we want it to. I'll share best practices for getting better results, like using synonyms, column descriptions, and the data glossary. And then I'm going to reveal how to do unstructured data search in Dataverse. This is exciting. Let's go build our agent. Let's start by taking a look at the data that our agent is going to consume. Right now, I've got it in an Excel spreadsheet, and it's nothing more than a table full of real estate listings. Over on the left, I've got address, city, and state information, so that's text type information. I've got some numerical information like price, the number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms. I've got some dates in here as well. And over on the right, I've got a description, which can be long text or multiple lines of text. And the really neat thing is we're going to use unstructured data search in Dataverse to be able to search that type of column. Now, how do I get this information into a Dataverse table? Well, we're going to take a left turn here and go to make.powerapps.com because it has the best interface for uploading data into Dataverse. I'm going to click on Tables and create a brand new table. And here we are in the data workspace. This gives us a couple of options how we can create our new table. I'm going to pick Import an Excel file or CSV. I'm going to select it from my hard drive, disable the hidden sheet, and then in a moment, this screen is going to pop up with the schema for the table that we just created. Look at that. I didn't even speed the video up. It just, poof, right there it is. Okay, so I'm going to click View Data, and here you'll notice, yep, we've got address, city, state, price, listing number, all of the columns inside of my Excel spreadsheet. There's a couple things I want to make sure of here before I move on. First thing is we'll go to Properties, and I want to rename this table to Real Estate Listings. That's just what I want to call it. And my primary column is going to be the address. Great. I'll click Save right there. And then the other thing that I want to update is the description field, because it's showing it as a single line of text column, but I know I'm going to want to use unstructured data search on it later. So I'll change it to multiple lines of plain text. I'll hit Update, and now I'm pretty much done here. So I'll hit Save and Exit. There you go. And in a moment, this table is going to be created in Dataverse. Now that we've exited the data workspace, I want you to know how to get back to your table in order to edit it further. Over here on the left-hand side, we can see we're in the Tables menu. Then you'll want to click this All tab over here, and that's something that many people forget to do and can't find their table. Then we'll start typing real estate to locate our table, and there we go. It's our real estate listings table. And if I click Edit up at the top here, we can see a preview of all the data in our table. And if we want to, we could even do things like search, sort, and filter. So I could click on this filter button, and I could take a look for city equals Wilmington. There you go. I've got the data. Great. Okay, so now we've got the Dataverse table created. What are we going to do next? Let's go into Copilot Studio and start to connect this table to our agent. Here we got a brand spanking new agent. All it has so far is a name. We've picked the model GPT-5 chat and given it a cool little logo, the Dataverse logo. Next, let's head on over to knowledge so we can add our table. So I'll pick add knowledge, and we're going to pick Dataverse, of course. And look at that, right up here we've got our real estate listings table. If it didn't show up in the suggested search options, I could also start to type in the table name and go ahead and click on that table. Next, I'll pick add to agent, and really, it's as simple as that. What the agent is going to do next is start to index our table. So we do need to wait a moment until the status changes from unknown to ready, and then we can go and give our agent a quick test. Check it out, our agent knowledge is ready because we've got that little green check mark beside it. Now we can give our agent a quick test. The question I'm going to ask our agent is, show me homes listed in New York. And that should be a pretty simple query, right? All it's doing is looking for homes in the city of New York. Now, the agents come back with an answer and it says, here are the current homes listed in New York. Price range, bedrooms, bathrooms, size, locations, features. It's not really that helpful, right? Because it's not coming with a list of results for us to inspect. So here's where we want to use the agent's instructions in order to shape our agent's response. I'll go over here to the Overview tab, and then what we'll do is we'll edit instructions. And I'm going to copy and paste some pre-created instructions in here, and we will read them together. I'll hit that Save button. Okay. So our instructions say, you are a real estate listing agent. And then we put in some constraints, some instructions that always have to be followed. Only use listings that exist in agent knowledge. That's a good one. Don't make anything up. Never infer, paraphrase, summarize, or restate. And if no listings match, just say, don't got any. Then for the output format, we're defining the fields that we want the agent to use and the structure the response should be in, and also saying, don't give me any other text. I just want you to come back with the results. Now, if you've ever wondered how to write good instructions and tried to, and the agent just isn't listening to you, one tip I like to give is ask an agent for help. Agents are really good at helping you write great instructions. So give that a try if you're having trouble. The other thing we'll want to do before we go and retest these instructions is come on over here to the settings. And I want to turn off Use General Knowledge. Because when general knowledge is on and I'm working with a data source, the agent seems more likely to hallucinate because it can just come up with examples from its own knowledge. So we're turning that off and making our agent rely solely on our agent's knowledge. Okay, let's go ahead and ask that same question. Show me homes listed in New York. Show me homes listed in New York. And now we're going to see what the agent comes up with. Okay, we got a response back, and look at that. That's the format that we wanted the response in, right? With the street, the city and the state, the price, square footage, beds and baths. That's the concise answer that I wanted. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. But is that the information that's in our knowledge? Let's head back to that Dataverse table and click on the Edit button. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter by city. If I can find that column that says city, might have to add it. Looks like it fell off there. I'll go get the city, filter by New York, click apply, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. And that looks exactly like what our agent has too, those exact same examples. Let's try a slightly more complicated query. Let's ask, show me homes listed in New York with 3 bedrooms. Homes listed in New York with 3 bedrooms. So the agent is going to have to write a query that does a little bit of math here. Okay, we've got one response back. We've got 123 Maple Street. Let's see if that's right. And look at this. The homes in New York, only 3 bedrooms. The rest of them have 4. That's perfect. Let's try one more question for our agent. Show me homes listed in New York under $870,000, which is an oddly specific number, but I think there should only be 2 results here. And check it out, just 2 results, 123 Maple Street and 456 Elm Street. And if we go back to our Dataverse table and take a look at the price, we can just sort this from smaller to larger. The first 2 are 123 Maple Street and 456 Elm Street, $850K and $860K. Perfect. The agent came back with the exact information that we wanted to. It was accurate and it was in the right format. So we're done now, right? Copilot is magic and it's going to be able to handle everything the user throws at it. No. And that's because users don't always give perfect search queries. Let me show you what I mean. We've got one record over here. It's called 111 Sycamore Street, and its listing number is 13. So let's ask our agent to bring up some details on that one. I'm going to say, show me the details for MLS number 13. And it might say, hey Matt, that doesn't say listing number. That says MLS number. That's right, because where I'm from, The multiple listing service number is the unique identifier for a home listing, okay? But the agent doesn't know that. It just has listing number. So it comes back with something like this, a result that makes no sense. 111 Sycamore Street, bed and bath. So how can we help our agent get an accurate result? Let's go to the Knowledge tab to configure our agent a little bit further. I'm going to click on Real Estate Listings, and here you can see we have a couple of options. We've got Details, we've got Preview, which shows you a preview of all of our data. Then we've got Synonyms, and that sounds like what we need because MLS number is a synonym or a like word for listing number. Let's head down to our listing number column and start to add some synonyms. So what are some ways we think the user might ask for the listing number? Well, we could do the one that I just said, which is MLS number. What about something like property ID? That's pretty good too. How about reference number? And we can keep on adding potential synonyms here, potential alike or close by words that the agent is going to interpret using this menu. Okay, I'll click done right here. Another thing we can do to help guide and ground our agent is by using column descriptions. So for the listing number, what it really is it's a unique identifier for the home listing. You can type in that number and only one result should show up. So I like using the description column for absolutely any column that I'm going to use in the database because it's going to help guide the agent to the correct answer in the correct search query. For example, we could continue to fill out this agent with descriptions of the bedrooms and the bathrooms column. And I think I got this one reversed here, so I will just go and change it. There we go. Number of bathrooms in the home, number of beds in the home. And I would continue going through this list for every column and adding a description. I'm going to hit save right here. I'm going to pick start a new test session. And then we're going to try and ask this agent the same question again. What was that question? Show me the details for MLS number 13. Okay, let's see if it does a better job this time now that we've added some synonyms and some column descriptions. Great, we've got exactly one search result back here, 111 Sycamore Street, 870K, 4 beds, 3 baths. And if we go check that out versus our Dataverse table, we've got 870K, we've got 4 beds, 3 baths. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. Now let's try another question. Let's ask our agent, show me apartments in New York with 3 bedrooms, please. But how does our agent know what apartments are, right? We're just generally searching for homes. Let's see where apartments show up in the data. If we go back to our table over here, we've got our property types and we've got these descriptions, AP, HS, CD, and TH. Those mean AP for apartment, HS for house, CD for condo, and TH for townhouse. Our agent doesn't know what any of those mean. So what we're going to do is add these terms to our data glossary to help it interpret them. Now you might ask me, Matt, why didn't you just create your database so that AP was apartments and CD was condos? That makes a lot of sense, but we don't always choose what data we're given. We don't always have control over that data that we're given. So sometimes we need to make use of the tools within the agent and the data glossary, again, to help our Copilot Studio agent interpret what's in the database. Let's head back to Copilot Studio and click on the Knowledge tab. We'll open up Real Estate Listings and head on over to the glossary. On the left-hand side, you want to enter the term that the user is searching. So in this case, that's apartment. And on the right-hand side here, you want to put a description of what apartment is shown as inside of the database. So I put apartment refers to the value AP in the property type field. And then I'm going to continue to add terms here for condo, house, and townhome. So just one moment as I go ahead and do that. Now, one thing that you might notice about the description that I wrote was it also includes the field. Now that's not 100% necessary, but it does help. And one way that I figured this out was going to the Copilot documentation for Dataverse knowledge and taking a look at the sample glossary definitions. So if you take a look at the sample glossary definitions, this will show you exactly how to write them. Next, I'm going to click Save. And then once this is saved, we're going to ask that question and see if Copilot can answer it properly now. Show me apartments in New York with 3 bedrooms, please. Let's see what happens here. Okay, great. That's exactly what I wanted. We've got 123 Maple Street. It has 3 bedrooms and its type is apartment because the property type is AP over here. It's got 3 bedrooms, and this other one, 111 Sycamore Street, has 4 bedrooms. So even though it's an apartment, it shouldn't show up inside of our result set. I'm really excited about the last question that we're going to ask our agent because it relies on unstructured data search in order to get a result. So I've asked the agent, show me homes that are close to schools. And schools isn't a column in our database. Schools is actually found inside the description field for a table. So when we ask Copilot, hey, can you find homes that are close to schools? It says, nuh-uh, can't find it. And to prove it to you that the data is there, let's head back to our table. And I'm going to clear the column that's currently filtered right now, which is city. Let's clear that column. And let's look in the description field, and let's look for description contains schools, and hit apply. And there we go. We've got 2 results that are close to schools, 101 Cedar Drive and 333 Willow Lane. Let's go pull that description over there a little bit closer. Now, unstructured data search allows you to search multi-line text fields and file type fields. But there's some additional configuration that you have to do in Power Apps in order for that to happen. So first of all, we don't have a file type field in our database currently. So I'm going to create a new one called unstructured data file. And I think I've spelled that correctly. Structured. There we go. Spelling is hard without a Copilot. Then I'll pick data type, file, and click Save. And you don't need to call this unstructured data file. I'm just calling it that so it's super easy to find. Now we need a way to add a file because, hey, we've already got descriptions in our database, but we don't have any files there. So we'll head back to Forms and let's customize our main form so we can use it to add a file. I'll scroll down to the bottom of the form here. I can just drag and drop unstructured file, and I'll hit Save and Publish. And this form is going to allow us to edit an individual record in our data table and upload a file. Now that we're done publishing, I'll click the back button and I'll go back to tables. Let's look for our real estate listings table once again. There we have it. I can click on Edit. And let's give it a try for this first one here. Let's just do something really simple. I'm going to pick 101 Cedar Drive, edit row using form. And at the bottom of the form, we can upload our unstructured data file, so something like a text document or a PDF. I'm just going to use text file that has exactly the same text as the description. Normally, that wouldn't be the case. It'd be something different, but I just want to do a quick example right here. So we've got 101 Cedar Drive. Then I can dismiss this and choose my file. Go to my messy desktop. And there we go, we'll pick 101 Cedar Drive. So it'll upload that file and we'll be able to use it as unstructured data. I'll hit Save and Close. Now there's one more really important step. And this was one that I had a hard time figuring out from the documentation. So go to Views, then go to your Quick Find View. And this is a type of view that's present with every table in the database, even the pre-generated tables like accounts and contacts. Click on Edit in New tab. And then over here in the bottom right, it says Find By. And here we have address. That means right now unstructured data search is only going to work on the address field. What we need to do is add 2 more fields. So we're going to add our description field to Find By and unstructured data file to find by. So now this multi-line text column and this file column will be indexed for unstructured data search. The address field, it's a single line text field. Is that going to be used for unstructured data search? No, that's just not how it works. It's just the multi-line text and the file type columns that are here. What this actually does in the broader Dataverse scheme of things is find by says, hey, you can use these columns for Dataverse search. It's just Dataverse's search engine. But for us, description and unstructured data file is what the Copilot is going to surface with unstructured search. So we'll hit save and publish like we just did, and then we'll go back over here. Now, in order for unstructured data search to work, you need to make sure that the agent has had time to index the multi-line text field and the file field. If you go over here to agent knowledge and you see that real estate listings has a status of ready, that doesn't tell you whether the data is indexed or not. So you've got two options to figure that out. You can just start testing your agent and see if it's able to respond to questions based on what's in those fields, or you can use this API, which is text data status, and I'll zoom in on this to figure it out. So what you'll want to do is replace this with your own environment name and then go API Copilot 1.0 text data status. And this tells you the indexing status of all the data. Okay, we'll scroll down here, and here we can see we have our table MD real estate listings. So here's some of the fields that it's indexed, but these are the important ones: text attributes, MD property description, and MD unstructured data file. There we go. So these have been indexed. We can see attribute sync complete. If you want to speed up the indexing, if you want it to happen immediately, what you can do is you can delete this data source and re-add it, but then you have to add back all the synonyms, the column descriptions, and the data glossary values, or you can just wait for it to happen, and that's just going to happen on some undefined schedule, but at least you have a way to check this. So let's go ask our Copilot a question that depends upon what's in our unstructured data search fields. I'm going to ask the agent to please show me the homes that are located close to schools. The agent's going to take a moment to think about it and retrieve those results from knowledge. The agent came back with the results that we expected: 101 Cedar Drive, 888 Oak Avenue, and 333 Willow Lane. And we can see all of them are close to schools. And if we head over here to our database, check out the description, and do a quick filter on the word school, we should see those three values there as well. Perfect. That's it. That's the video.